the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
You know, I usually would say this is a lovely day to be a race fan, but, you know, this is exactly what I would call the best weather. It is a little foggy here at Richmond, but hey, no rain, no trouble, still a beautiful facility, and it's time for some short track madness. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to PTM Racing TV and tonight's showcase of the toughest and the baddest drivers around. It is time to showcase the SRM Truck Series of the Misfitz iRacing League here on the show, presented in part by our friends down at Speedmaster Boats. Speedmaster Boats is the championship-winning remote control model beast design and world record-setting remote control model boats. Be sure to check them out. That's speedmasterboats@gmail.com for more information. And of course by Boss Tech, the world leaders of EGR coolers, injections, emissions, pumps, sensors, harnesses, turbochargers, kits, gasket seals, and more. Boss Tech, we keep America moving. And race fans, right now, currently the field is getting ready to move their way into qualifying here. But before we do, and before we get to our track tech talk, I think it's a good time as well as anything to have a little chat with our boys down here and hear from them and what they're feeling today as they prepare out for the track on ahead. Let's listen in right now with the number one, Joe Tardif, as he joins me here on the show first. Tardif, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing good, buddy. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good tonight, my friend. Now, you certainly have a lot to live up to and a lot to fight around here with today. You got a few guys that are looking to try to knock you off the top of the totem pole, but you seemingly have had some good runs here as of late on Pizza Race TV. Now, how do you manage that from the big tracks to the short track?
Short tracks, it's not too much my specialty, but this track being as hot as it's going to be, I do like a loose track. It's going to make people save their stuff a little bit, and that's probably one of my better things that I'm good at is saving my equipment.
Well, I was going to say, literally saving equipment was certainly something you had done well because you won at Daytona by saving the equipment and the fuel and tires, able to outwit some of those boys down there for that win. Do you think that's what you're going to have to play out to here at Richmond?
Yeah, I think it's going to be strategy. Keep yourself out of trouble. If I could stay up front, I would love to, but just take care of the equipment, take care of your tires, and that last run there, just be in it.
Be in it to win it. That's right, Tardif. All right, man. Thanks for time here. Let's see what happens down on the track.
Thank you.
Joe Tardif, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to go at it here with JDI. Got a few other guys here to listen into real quick here as we're currently just in a little bit of a rush before we get into the qualifying aspect of it. We'll talk, though, right down on the track here in the number 4 Ford F-150. He pilots it down with Phil Willis. Philip, how you doing tonight, sir?
Good afternoon. How y'all doing?
Good afternoon, indeed. Well, right now, as we currently watch you on, it seems like you got something kind of dialed in out of the gate here in the top 3 spots on the practice line. But you have quite a few drivers ahead of you in that lineup, too, that are only about 400ths of a second. Do you think that'll kind of separate you two out in qualifying as well?
It might. I'm looking at the big picture, and like tires is everything here, especially that right front.
Yeah, why might be the right front in this case here for the fans at home that may not know why that is?
Right now, we're putting a lot of pressure on that right front tire to make it turn, and right now, I'm trying to do everything I can to get the rear tires to have a little bit more turn off the turns to keep that temperature down off that right front.
Yeah, we gotta try to find a way to work the understeer versus an oversteer, and these trucks definitely can be that way once you get it going. But nevertheless, here, Philip, we do appreciate your time here, sir. Our best wishes and luck to you and the crew.
Yeah, thanks, and I'd like to thank the sponsors of this series. It's been pretty fun so far, and hopefully we'll have a good night tonight.
Absolutely, Philip. Best of luck, man. Number 4 driver Philip Willis here, ready to get down to business, ready to get down on the track here. Down to bring in one of our other cats out here that has not had a chance to talk with us here yet. I believe that is Raj Manapudi here. Raj, I hope I'm not saying your last name wrong, buddy. Raj, you got a copy down there? I think he hears us. He's just not listening, unfortunately. But I guess we don't have a copy on his end, so we'll go ahead and bring him back in. If they don't talk, we leave them alone. You know the rules around here, guys. You don't want to make it too hard on them. All right, let's bring it in now to one of the guys we chatted with a couple of weeks ago here, looking to bring it back to the track. Dominic Previtt, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got it right this time, race fans. Can't come after me for this one. All right, Mr. Previtt, right now, welcome to the show again, sir. And as you may have noticed also, we figured out how to say your last name right. And it seems like you're starting to figure out how to say the track's name right and actually take control of it. How's it feeling out there?
Not feeling too bad. It's different. It's got to be real patient with these trucks. Like a lot of body roll with these bigger bodied vehicles and such slow corners. It feels like you got to be patient with it. That's just the challenging part, I feel.
So with the way the distribution of these trucks as well, I mean, with the long runs, I presume that we heard of a little bit earlier on, the right fronts have definitely a tendency to be kind of burnt off and make things a lot more difficult. For you in your case, I mean, is that going to be kind of the same culture, the same kind of mindset, or do you think maybe you can find a way to slow down a little and then outstretch these guys out here?
I think it's going to be for everyone. I think it's going to come down to, depending on, if we get long green flag runs, it's going to come down to tire management and everything, not burning them off too fast there once we get going and just being patient.
For sure there. All right, Dominic, well, we'll let you get to your qualifying here and see what you can lay down. Best of luck to you and the team down there in JDJ team.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too. Dominic Previtt, ladies and gentlemen, on the line as we now send it down to qualifying. Qualifying is underway, and Hunter Bailey in the 24 has already set a top spot, but unfortunately, like all top drivers, they have to fall eventually. Jay Shibley knocks him off that list here as he gets a little bit loose in the 15 Fan Tech machine. The Boss Tech lost a little bit of ground there, and now he's going to be firing back around for one more good corner, but he's going to get into the wall and cost himself dearly. Hunter Bailey able to recover and get that spot away. Whoa! And as we switch over to the cameras, Kelly Hyde, the 26, he goes for a wild ride in the 26 camp. Took a little bit of a drive off and couldn't quite get that thing squared up. I hope that does not cost him momentum later on, but we will have to see. New leader now set on the stone, Kenneth Brown, and guess what? That was last week's feature winner at Homestead. The 98 has already taken what he learned from Homestead on the tire burn and save, and he's now using his speed up for grabs. He sets the fastest time of the 22.09. We'll see if that stands. Here comes Ryan Zebo's time now, laying off in the number 10. Straight to the line off the corner. And his time will result second fastest of the bunch. He'll lay down a 22.14. About 500 to a second off on that clock, but that does not phase the man in the 10. Now the Keystone corner, number 12, Toyota Tundra of Matt Mingo. Ready to set the field and set the pace. Mingo already getting a good run off here, entering through the corner, now diving back in, looking for the corner off entry. Got some speed, but not a lot of gain. 10th place will go on his end. The Verizon Wireless number 3, Waylon Turner. Gonna bring out the Toyota Tundra camp now. Looks like he's gonna bring in a little bit of a unique design too. At least it's a lot more designed up than whatever the heck Joey Logano was running back. I believe it was a Pocono. Oh, but that doesn't mean Turner's not going to avoid some troubles here off of turn number 2. Gets it loose and gets it sent to the shadow realm. Problems down there, unfortunately, for Mr. There. Oh. Well, that took a hard hit there. Unfortunately, Waylon Turner not able to get himself squared back up. Looks like he wants to try to get one more lap out there, but Turner definitely cannot be too happy with that little move he just set himself off from. Patrick Jenks sets his time up, and he'll set the 38 into the 8th spot now. Joe Tardif has qualified the 5th slot. Waylon Turner will go back out one more time out. Looks like he wants to try to throw one more lap. He got 2 chances, so we'll see if he's able to get it done here. Mr. Turner now laying it through the corners, laying it through the track slate. Looking to build up some speed, build up some ground here. We'll see if that happens here, if he can get it going. Much smoother, much more in-wrapped. And the time reflects that 8 fastest just knocks Patrick Jenks off that list. Much better time for him. We'll see how well he hangs in there and how well he does here in this one today. Time to listen in with some of our other drivers now as they join us here on the call here. The number 26, Kelly Hyatt, has joined us now. And Kelly, going for a wild ride there off of turn number 2. Truck looked like it got really loose and then just got slammed to the wall protection. Are you okay at least out there? Looks like no comment on that or no chat on that. So let's see if maybe their teammate can chat with us here. Let's see if Hunter Bailey and 24 would like to kind of chat with us here. Hunter, you got a copy down there?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, Hunter, real quick before you enter into the race here, man, what a qualifying time you set. 3rd fastest in the 24 camp, and now looking to try to take these boys down. What's going to be the strategy base for you to kind of navigate through this foggy conditions?
Yeah, definitely want to thank the U.S. ROTC for sponsoring me today and all of our sponsors for this league. Very appreciative of them. But today it's going to be a hot one. Tire management's going to be huge. I think track position, you're going to want to stay up front. These trucks don't really like the exits off 2 and 4, so kind of just keeping an eye out and keeping the right side and left side clean.
Definitely going to be a little bit of work to do with especially the fog kind of rolling in a little bit. Hopefully it stays down. You guys can stay under control, but nevertheless, our best wishes and luck to you in this 24 camp today.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, Hunter Bailey ready to set the tone and set the field up in this show and in this race. There we go. I got Hunter back into his chat there. All right, race fans, time has come and we are set to go. Here is the grading order for after qualifying for today's traction of the SRM Truck Series of Misfitz iRacing League. This grading order is presented in part by our friends at Boss Tech. Your starting lineup shows last week's feature winner, the 98, Kenneth Brown. On the pole, it is outside Ryan Zeba will be in the number 10. Row number 2, it's Hunter Bailey in the 24. You just heard from him there as he'll pilot the inside row out with his outside being the 48. That's Trevor Keith. Row number 3, Joe Tardif, and the 1 is outside. Big 4, Philip Willis. Row number 4 is then Chase Shipley in the 15. It is outside the 3, Waylon Turner. Row number 5, that's going to be Patrick Jenks in the 38. It is outside the 31, Jacob Torman. And row number 6, Matthew Karakoff will be driving the double O. It is outside is the 12, Matt Mingo. Row number 7 is Dominic Previtt. And Previtt in his 39 is outside is the 26, Kelly Hyatt. Row number 8, Ethan Harrison will pilot the 77 is outside is the 23, Anthony Emmerich. Row number 9 is Raj Manakpudi, and the 67 is outside. It's the 35, Josh Previtt. Our final starter today in the 88, Brandon Ward. Race fans, it is time in Richmond. field will march their way around the track and on pace, on parole. We have set the field up and now risen the drivers to their highest level, to their fullest potential. It is time to see who will be the best driver of the lineup and the one that can survive the beating, the banging, the bumping, the rubbing, the racing of Richmond Raceway. With tire wear being a huge factor and the conditions being a little bit more blurry than usual, you just know there will be a lot of guys looking for openings and looking for opportunities when they can. Who will be able to outwit and outlast the other, and who will be able to outstrengthen the race? 150 laps to the distance. Kenneth Brown will lead the charge with Ryan Zubu on the outside. The time is here and the time is now. Richmond, Virginia, on your feet. Get ready. It's time to go racing with the SRM Truck Series. Drivers into the wall protection already. Jacob Torment at 31, tormenting himself into that wall early with a little bit of trouble coming off the exit. Now trying to fire his way around Patrick Jakes in the 38, while the big 00 Matthew Karikoff leans his way back into the frame, back into the fight, making a return to BTM Racing TV. Uh-oh, it's making a trouble there. Patrick Jenks, unfortunately not feeling well, and nor is that truck feeling well. Oh my. The 38 unfortunately lost in the corner, and the Fireball 38 machine is going to have to lean his way back. Ryan Zubu with the early advantage over Kenneth Brown, and the number 98 who will have the early lead. But you heard the driver say earlier, the tire, the wear, the tear. Can they outlast it? Can they outbreak it down? Though that's not going to help anyone there. Anthony Emmerich, the 23, wrecking hard off too. We've got a caution in the AE Plumbing LLC. Took a huge hit there off turn number 2. Couldn't quite tell. That was just unfortunately some hit and run or a little overshot there into the corner. We're going to take a look at the PTMS replay today, presented in part by Speedmaster Boats. Well, from that end, it looked like he might have gotten into somebody actually as he was coming off the exit. It was kind of hard to really tell what was going on there, what was really the issue there. But let's take one more last look at it. Looked like the 35, yeah, that's what happened there. The 35, unfortunately, Josh Previtt, he got a little bit loose and got sent back into the shadow realm for both guys. Unfortunately, that was not the way they wanted that to play out. What a tough break there for them. Well, race fans, drivers will have to get squared back up into position here and see what they can come up with and what they can do. Definitely not what they were hoping for and not what they were wanting to see out of the gate. We'll see if maybe this can go a little bit further into the distance, a little bit better on the drive. We'll have to see. As right now we talk with some of our drivers on the track. Matt Mingo now joins me in the call here in the mid-pack range in the number 12. Matt, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, pretty good. Yeah, how are you?
Doing all right, sir. Just kind of watching you and the rest of the camps here going at it. So the Keystone Corner number 12 has once again risen to the occasion and risen up to the challenge. But as we hear you clutching in on that truck already, are you trying to save up more fuel than these guys out of the gate?
I mean, usually I just clutch in to make it coast better as well as save some fuel while I'm at it. Just help with it.
That certainly does indeed. And, you know, they always say every last little drip bit of fuel helps out, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's definitely true.
So with that in mind, I mean, I got to believe, too.
It also helps that we have the JDT pocket. At least it was a JDT pocket at the start around here. But now it's down to me, Waylon. But deal with it.
You think you're going to be able to get around him pretty cleanly, or you think you may have to give him the nudge or the bumper?
Oh, I'm not planning on bumping anyone until it comes time for the end of the race.
All right. Well, Mango, you set the stone and set the stage here. Best of luck to you and the crew, sir.
Thank you. You have a good one.
You too, buddy. Matt Mingo, ladies and gentlemen. Field going to set themselves back up in pace and back into the run here. We just saw a little bit of chaos kind of mixed in between, kind of mixed on around here. Take a listen in with some of our other guys here, as currently Anthony Emmerich is still trying to recover from that little hit there he took. Take a listen in real quick with Chase Shibley here, as he is now on the run and on the verge here. Let's take a listen in with him in the 7th spot. Chase, you got a copy, sir?
Hey, what's going on?
Go pretty good up here, buddy. So right now this 15 Chevrolet kind of stuck in the mid-range here from qualifying, but you got teammate in the Kenneth Brown 98 up there as well. You two were heavy on the nose at Helmstead. Do you think that will happen the same way here at Richmond?
Man, I'm hoping. Yeah, it seemed like on the long run, this Rhino USA Chevy just seemed like it got real quick there towards the long run. It seemed like it didn't damage the right front as much as it seemed like everybody else was. That second lap in qualifying, I got loose coming out of the corner and just lost all my time. So I'm faster than where I'm at. I'm just trying to methodically get up there.
For sure there. All right, man. Well, we're about to get back to the green, so we'll let you fire it up with the FTR team machine.
All right, thanks, man.
Jay Shibley, ladies and gentlemen, the number 15, having a little chat with us here as we get ready to bring him back to that green flag restart as just previously mentioned. Lights are off on the pace car. Green flag's coming down. It's grow time at Richmond. Here we go. Well, guys aren't wasting any time here. They went right for the moves. They went right for the kills. On deck and on hand here. Every driver looking for their ride off, looking for some power under the control deck. Every driver for themselves. Look at Tormendo. Swings it straight to the inside of the big double O Matthew Karakoff. No room for error there. Kenneth Brown back on the bottom now here. He got sent packing around a little bit. He did not like that. Not a good restart on his end, and now he knows Chase is going to be ahead of him. He might be the only guy of his team he's got left to help for. Julia De Conde on our Facebook end, rooting on for the man in the big 48, the man that is in second place right now. Gister Trevor Keith in the Tracker Boats. NOS Energy Drink, Toyota Tundra. He's trying to hunt down that Union Unicoal man himself in the number 10, Ryan Zebu. He has the race lead. He holds the power all in his hands right now as the field continues to thrive and conquer. Every driver for themselves right now, every guy and gal trying to find their run, trying to find their way into the tanks and in the speeds. Raj Manning Pooty now, after that little hiccup he had in the 67 from qualifying and in the race, is looking to try to get himself squared back up. Doing a great job right now, hitting his marks and hitting his spots. We'll see if the John Player Special Roaster Wraps has something for him. Little onboard camera there, also showing you just how far Mr. Jenks has kind of fallen himself on the line here. Torman driving way up high there. I'm not sure, maybe that might have been a slight issue in control or the corner, or maybe had a little bit of a problem down there. Torman needs to get things really cleared out and really fetched out a little bit more, because he's going to have some company coming to his door panel. Here comes Kenneth Brown there right on his bumper. And Brown not letting him breathe too much, not letting him think either. Just kind of trying to go for the shot and go for the run. Matt Mingo, huge dive down the bottom. I don't know if he might have been able to catch that coming off that corner in turn number 1, but he had a huge drive off top and then it went straight to the bottom. That's what we call dive bombs here in racing and motorsports. It's when a driver goes for the kill switch and goes for the big move to try to make a good pass and a good clean corner end. In dirt track racing, you may know what we'd like to call them as slide jobs or sliders. But here, that dive bomb move, if you can stabilize it down and then force the other driver up, that is the dive bomb procedure. And speaking of diving it down and diving it in, Waylon Turner dives off on Hunter Bailey, and the Verizon Wireless now checks himself into the 6th spot. Like, I mean, Mike like I might have used some of that Apple connection because he was checking in on that top side, and then he checked out when he went to the bottom, making sure he did not have his signal lost. Unfortunately for Bailey, his signal got lost in the shuffle and now gets thrown into the wreck and into the packs, if you will. Kenneth Brown, after his little trouble he had just a minute ago, now trying to get his SRM Truck Series 98 back into the fray. His Mobile One Holly EFX, Lincoln Fox Racing, Texas Roadhouse, Fanatec machine, trying to deal with everything he's got right up ahead of him, except for the trouble that lies in wait. Ethan Harrison is in the grassy plains. And the GGR Limeade 77 Tundra is now spinning around and into the grasslands he goes. Might have lost control there coming off that corner, as you've seen on our little clip there. Didn't look like he had a full grip of the track. And once all that weight transfers from top to the bottom and you can't get it to get back to the bottom of the actual roll, from the roll cage to that actual chassis down there, then everything just gets kind of flipped around and it makes things a lot more difficult to work with. Joe Dardev well aware of that, and this Mountain Dew big orange camoed up machine looking to get that speed he had back at Daytona back used up here. Had troubles back at Kent Homestead, Miami last week, but he said earlier to me, I'm not too worried about it, nor am I too upset about it. All I'm more worried about is trying to get stable and trying to get ready. Unfortunately, that didn't look very stable to me there, my friend. Karakov making a good drive off, making a good pass around the track. I'm not sure what happened there exactly, or who got into where and who got into what, but we'll take a look at the P2 instant replay. Cardiff might have gotten loose off the corner. He is very loose there. You see that right front left straight off the ground. That's not a good sign. That means he's trying to save it to the left. Karakov making a good job, doing a good job though, staying nice and controlled. Did not overpace, did not overrun him. Stayed in the line and stayed in the sight, but did not try to force an issue at hand. That's good driving. Dominic Previtt there in the 39 after that little tag he took from turn number 2. Seemingly has now squared himself away as he looks to hang in there and hang in position. Remember, this is a stage race as well, so you have lap 50, lap 100, and 150. The stages will set the bar, will set the field up, and everyone will have to follow in their footsteps and in their tracks. So you know they can't be over abusing or overdoing themselves here at certain points. They've got to stay focused and stay race ready for everything that comes their way. Now deep inside, here comes Raj Manaputi there onto the bottom of the 67, making a great drive off on Dominic Previtt. Previtt trying to get back at it there, can't quite get to grip, can't quite get to turns with the truck. Waylon Turner though making some good moves off. He gets ahead of Matt Mingo as Matthew Karakov is now back on the nose and on the verge of taking down the Keystone corner number 12, Matt Mingo. Here we go down to the bottom. This is what we call the job. This is what they call the crossover, the drive down. Came from top on the backstretch from that draft and sent it to the bottom, and not quite a full-on dive bomb, but a very good pass. Until Mingo decides to drive a little harder on the outside. He's giving her everything she's got. Problem is, you drive that far up, you run that wrist straight into the wall. He goes, and now the 30th one of Torment and Kenneth Brown, the 98, trying to move ahead. If you smell blood in the water like a shark in the ocean, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to strike while it's hot. It's an open wound, and they are feasting on it. They knew what they had to go and get, and they went for it. That is a feast and a half there on a wounded driver, and the 12 of Mingo's not making it any easier on him. Almost 3 wide saluted there with Anthony Emmerich in the 23 and the 24 of Hunter Bailey. Bailey, though, troubles. U.S. Air Force 24 couldn't quite get it straightened out. Emmerich right behind. And even Philip Willis intervening a little bit in that GoPro number 4. We talk about it all the time here. Just this putting the Misfits out here on this track with these trucks. They knew they were going to have fenders closer together. They knew they were going to be pushed to their limits a little bit. That's exactly what we're getting right now. Cardiff truck looked like it's seen some better days here. It's got a little bit tore up. It's got a little bit damaged off, and he knows it too. I'm sorry to those fans at home that may not be able to see. Don't adjust your television screens. No, it's not our end that's blurry. It's the actual track that's blurry. I do know that our YouTube has occasionally got a little fuzzy, but believe me, it wouldn't look blurry. It would get a little fuzzy, not blurry. So I apologize in advance if it does. Reaching over here for the final legs here of stage number 1. Ryan Zebu just absolutely tormenting these drivers, and let's see how he's doing. We go on board here with the number 10. The Unicall machine number 10, Union Silverado Chevrolet. This is how he's hitting these corners right here. You can see how he's angling into the turn. You can see how he's actually driving through. But notice one thing. He's not over accelerating. You don't hear the tires shredding up. You see him steering in a lot, yes. But you don't hear him or really see him over accelerating any of the corners, any of the shots. He's keeping it nice and simple. Very pristine, very rich in the corners. Not letting things get too out of hand. Not giving himself too much trouble. It's very smooth, very coarse, very rich. I always said with short tracks, you gotta find a routine. You gotta find a way to get the best run, the best drive off. With mile and a half, you could get away with not having to necessarily drive too much in the routine because you're having to battle a little bit more often. But when you're running on a track like this is more about finding a routine and being able to stick with it. There's just so many obstacles though you face with it around there that makes it so darn difficult. And that's why a lot of drivers have always talked about how crazy things can get here on the show. Well, race fans, currently we are set in session and set in stone. Your top 5 on your screen right now, currently trying to set the bar high and set it good. Can any of them hang on to the ends of the race? We'll find out when we return. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, here on PT Racing TV for the SRM Truck Series is presented in part by Speedmaster Boats, the championship-winning remote control model boat design and world record-setting remote control model boats. To get yours done up and worked around, simply message them up at speedmasterboats@gmail.com. By the folks at Boss Tech, with manufacturer and distributor of top quality automotive parts. We carry a full line of parts for your light, medium, heavy duty diesel engines. Boss Tech, we keep America moving. Welcome back here, race fans. Now on the show here on Pizza Race TV, as we're currently striving hard here on the final laps legs here of stage number 1. Currently the field still in a hot charge and a hot drive off, as we now have some company moving in here. Jacob Torman in the 31 going right up against Waylon Turner in number 3. This is your top 5 battle with Matthew Karakoff in the double O, kind of hanging from behind. Everybody getting their stuff in, trying to make this, trying to get looking really good here, looking for some extra speed and extra endurance on the track. Nobody giving an inch and nobody giving anything to the extremes or to the reserves. They only want what's best, and that is to make or break their race. A lot at stake here and a lot going on, and they are very well aware of that as they continue to find the extra line, the extra drive. But some of them really, I think, also are trying to keep it nice and smooth and nice and cornered off here after the little headaches they may have suffered through earlier on. Some of these guys kind of got pushed back off just the restarts alone, like kind of Brown the 98. And I'm not completely sure if he just spun the tires out or if he missed a gear going into the first sectors, but the last restart was not too kind to him. He was in the second, third route and then moved back into 8th, 9th, then managed to make his way back into the 7th spot. He was the fastest qualifier here, and right now he is not looking like the same driver we saw at Homestead Miami Speedway. He looks kind of off in some regards in some ways. Hopefully it's just a stage 1 little hiccup and maybe he's saving something for later, but hard to really say, folks. You know, these guys, they know what they got to do and they know when they got to do it. The ultimate question is, when it comes time to perform, can they get the job done? Well, right now here, Matt Mingo driving way hard on the outside. Raj Manakuti here looking to just kind of steal this one from him. Mingo driving that hard up on the outside tells me he's got a problem down there, and I think a little bit has to do with that right front tire. You see him actually steering that thing in completely, trying to hang on, and it will not grip. It won't come to terms. Raj sees an opportunity and strikes while the iron's hot. And speaking while the iron's hot, how about this now? 2-truck battle here for position 3 involving the 23 of Anthony Emmerich. Looking for some position to look for some track. The 24 of Hunter Bailey in the U.S. Air Force machine versus that 98 Fanatec of Kenneth Brown. The Boss Tech machine is now up on the high bank, high side, going for a drive and finds the line. Now there is run on the outside. I never insinuated for 1 second there wasn't. It's just if you try to drive it up there, well, let's just say I hope you can find a way to throw the anchor down later on, because your tires are going to be screeching to a halt there, and you're gonna want to make sure you can cut that anchor as soon as possible. And it looks like it might have already affected Hunter there, as Philip Wilson's now even made a move off on him. Hunter not looking like he is currently getting squared up on the track here as well as he would like to, but again, you can never count that 24 Exalta driver out of position. And look at this now, even Ryan Zebu losing ground, losing time here, and it lost a lot of it. Chase Shibley has all of a sudden now completely flipped this race around as the Fanatec 15 Chevrolet Silverado approaches last corners and last laps. He's got a good chance now to take full control of this race. Trevor Keith as well in 48 has actually now moved into the 3rd spot, moves 1 up from his qualifying position earlier. But has company approaching him from behind. The Monster Energy Drink's got problems with the guys behind him. He's got company in front of him and lap traffic to maneuver around. That's the idealistic area and the issues you face on a short track. You've got literally no room for error and no room for desire. And right now, Patrick Jenks getting bumper card out there. You saw literally the 6th there pilot in there with him. And then you even saw the 39 right behind him. Dominic Frevitt was not giving him much room, wasn't giving him any area for error there. And Brandon Ward in the 6th definitely was not doing the same to Jenks. Ended up flipping him up a little bit and kind of sending him back a little bit around the track. We're heading to the stage break here now, into the final corners and the final sectors. As long as Chase Shibley can stay out of trouble here, he'll have no trouble. Taking stage number 1 from the field and stage number 1 from the track off of turn 4. And Chase Shibley will still win number 1 from stage 1. He'll get the stage. I believe that was stage 1. They may be going a little bit further. Oh, there it goes. There it is. There it is. I was about to say, I think they're a little bit delayed on that one, don't you think, folks? Stage 1 in the books now, and now it looks like this could go anybody's direction coming out of pit road. Remember, pit stops are going to be extremely crucial and extremely nullifying here to the drivers. They've got to find a way to set themselves up and simplify the track. Tire wear and the fuel run certainly is going to play a factor in how they present themselves into pit road. We'll see who gets the best of the other. Jay Shibley, Ryan Zebu, Trevor Keith, Waylon Turner, Jacob Torman, their top 5 out from stage number 1. We'll see how they fare. The guys that are going to have to stay on out, though, will be the ones that are a lap down. They're going to try to get that lap back as soon as possible. They don't want to be down much longer than they absolutely have to. So out of pit road, Chase Shibley is going to be able to walk away from the top honors and the top spots here. We'll have to see if that holds up and holds true to his name and his structure. Definitely going to be an interesting little workaround here, but it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to visit up an old friend of ours here in the big 00. Matthew Karakoff returns to the show. Karakoff, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing pretty good.
Oh, pretty good indeed. We haven't heard from you in quite some time. What the heck brings you back here, sir?
I've been kind of busy, but couldn't stay away. It just kind of pulled me back in.
I mean, I think that that's kind of the usual excuse all of us drivers come up with eventually, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it's so cool to be driving this Camp Light truck. It's a local camp with kids with disabilities, so it's pretty neat to be racing this thing.
It's very neat indeed. Awesome to see as well. Karakoff, it's a pleasure to have you back on the show here, sir. Best of luck as you continue on through your stunt for your hunt for the win.
Thank you, and thanks for your coverage, man. You do a great job.
Absolutely appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, the big 00, Matthew Karakoff there on the line. Let's keep it down here with that team as well. Let's listen in right now with the number 3. Waylon Turner now joins us here. And Waylon, after a strong little stage there, stage number 1 belonging to you on the number of positions gained, really. But now you got to try to find a way to get the other 2 positioners. How do you kind of set yourself up for that?
I mean, the 2 ahead of me are definitely really strong competitors, and it's going to take everything I have to get ahead of them. But I don't think I want to be pushing too hard. I think I'm just going to give them the respect they deserve and just see where I can run.
You think there's going to be anywhere that's going to be a very specific place to pass, or you think you just kind of have to go for whatever you're given?
I think it's just a give and take situation. That's the kind of track that we're on right now. It's just run what we can and take when we can.
Take what you can, give it all you got. Waylon, thank you for your time here, sir.
Thank you.
Waylon Turner, ladies and gentlemen, the number 3, ready to set back his field, set back his drive. Race fans, time has come. We're going to get ready to get back to it now. Out of the distance into turn number 3 and 4. Back off the restart zone. Fire the green off and fire them on down. We're back on our way. Stage 1 in the books here now. It's time for stage 2. 100 laps to the distance. Oh no, there's trouble though. Trevor King way too hard in the corner. And Matthew Karakoff crashed out in between there out of turn 1. Unfortunately, huge trouble for all drivers involved. Caution is out. Okay, I just want to get this out of the way right now before anybody comes at me for this. I'm going to say it now. Karakoff, I am very, very sorry. I have given you the broadcaster curse, sir. I did not intend for that to happen, but a broadcaster curse strikes again, and I can't seem to find a way to get those voodoo dolls put away for some reason. I don't know what it is. You guys tell me at home in the comment section below. Let's take a look at the replay, though. Trevor Keith, unfortunately, really this was just way too hard in the corner here. He brakes hard. Look at that. Once you slam the brakes down, remember, you got understeering these trucks, so when you slam that brake in, that rear end is going to slide out underneath you, and it's going to be a lot more difficult to have to work around to get that thing straightened out. He knew it, and unfortunately, once he came around there was nowhere for him to go and nothing he could do. Yeah, you can see it right there. Once it was gone, it was gone. And unfortunately, Raj Manapudi had nowhere to go either and ends up clipping right up ahead there of Matthew Karakoff. So a tough break for everybody involved. Not the way you want to see that go down. Not a start by any means anybody was expecting. Well, the field's going to have to square back up now. Patrick Jenks is going to be put back on the lead lap. I think we'll talk with him real quick here and see how he's feeling after that little hiccup there earlier on. Jenks, you got a copy down there?
Yes, sir. We got you loud and clear.
All right. Well, Jenks earlier on in the race getting thrown a lap back, and you got a little bumper card action down there in the truck, but the guy's just not giving you much room or any time to breathe.
Honestly, I didn't get much room trying to get the lucky dog there. We were all fighting for it, and you know, the weed lap cars are trying to fight for their spot too.
So now from here, what's going to be the base and the strategy for this crew?
Well, we know we're going to need 4 tires here, that's for sure, and we're definitely got to get this damage repaired. I don't want to use that fast repair, but we might have to.
Well, do what you can and last out as long as you got. That's what we always say here on the show. Best of luck to you and the crew.
Thank you, sir.
Patrick Jenks, ladies and gentlemen, here. in that number 38 camp here. I believe, honestly, if he was trying to get damage fixed up, I mean, it's a good idea to try to last out as long as you can. But if I'm being real with him for a second here, I think his best strat is actually going to be to just wait it out. Last as long as you can here, and then go for broke when it's possible. The second stage, if he hasn't used that fence repair there and still damaged, let's see if he keeps going. Well, let's take a listen now with the number 6 camp here. Mr. Brandon Ward, as he joins us on the call. You got us here, Brandon?
I do. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing pretty good on our end here, sir. It looks like you're not doing too shabby either, my friend. 12 spots up in position. The hard charger is belonging to you. What's with the secret here?
There kind of really isn't one. Just being patient and letting everybody wreck.
Well, that seems to be a good goal here, but yeah, with this being a short track and this being kind of a little bit of a heavier equipment to work around, do you think some of these guys maybe just getting a little bit impatient, a little bit over the top on themselves in some of these areas?
Yeah, some of them are just driving it in way too deep. And it's just not ending very well. You're good. Come up.
For sure there. All right. Well, Brandon, we do appreciate it coming back on board here. Best of luck for you and the JDJ team.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. In the 6 Mountain Dew, tealed up neon colors, Mr. Brandon Ward joins us in the number 6. Race fans, we're ready to get back to the action if you guys are ready here. I think it's about time these guys get sent on their way and sent down on the track. If you are new to the show and haven't ever seen us before and you like what you hear, be sure to give us a like and a follow on our PTM Racing TV, Facebook, and YouTube, and subscribe on our YouTube. And also share the stream around. Show the boys some love as we get back to the green for stage number 2. We still got about 38 laps left to go here in stage number 2. Field now marching to the beat of the drum, trying to work their way in. Waylon Turner now got company on his inside. Jacob Torman, teammate, looking to get around him there off the corner distance with Kenneth Brown, not exactly making things easier for both of them, forcing issues at hand. Brown's getting really tired of waiting back there, and frankly, I don't blame him. If it's a short track and you got momentum, why wait? Get going or get moving. That's the way to do it. There's 2 ways you can get moving. 1, by your own account, or 2, someone makes you move. And believe me, you can get moving pretty quick with these things. Uh-oh, trouble down there for the 39. Code red down there. Unfortunately, trouble for Dominic Previtt. Previtt has wrecked it out on the front straightaway here. Caution has been thrown out here. We'll take a look at the Pete Semester replay. All the Mountain Dew schemes coming together and coming in great harmony, but unfortunately Dominic didn't quite feel the same. And that's actually not the Code Red scheme, but I think it's the Watermelon scheme out there. But that was a huge situation he just avoided there. You saw that truck literally lift right off the ground. That thing was going for a ride, and he almost got sent back into the shadow realm and out of this race. He got very fortunate here. One more look at it. Watch the hang time he gets off here. Boom! Whoa! Oh man, I can feel that in the announcer's booth back here. That does not feel good in the seat. I can tell you from racing these things a little bit. Oh man. Field will get themselves squared back up and around the track here. See who we have not chat with here as well. I believe there's only a couple guys they have left to listen to or trying to chat with here. I think we'll go ahead and get the last of the JDT guys out of the way here. Let's talk right now with Mr. Jacob Torman here as he now joins us back on the show. Torman, you got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
All right, hey man, right now the 31 going up against some of your teammates as well as some of your other fellow drivers, and you were looking like maybe it was time to make a move and make a bit of a drive off. Were you just kind of getting a little antsy there, or do you think the truck was just kind of asking to go?
Yeah, probably a little antsy. I mean, I've been trying to work on my consistency. I probably just missed a brake point or something there and drove it in too deep. These corners are tough. You gotta really hit your marks or else you can check up big time. So hopefully I can fix that issue later on in the race. But otherwise, I feel confident and I'm perfectly happy with the top 5 right now.
There is a little bit of damage too on that right front and that right side of the truck. Is that kind of evasive actioning to the right side, or is that forcing the issue at hand a little bit to get that from not burning up?
I don't think it's too bad. I just scrubbed the wall a few times. When I went to the pits, there wasn't a lot of repair times, so I don't think it's affecting me. I know these cars, the trucks, for some reason, are really loose on the straights, so I'm kind of battling that. But otherwise, yeah, I feel pretty good.
Makes you feel better, Torment. I call these things cars also sometimes, so. All right, man. Nevertheless, though, thank you for your time here in this 31 camp. Best of luck as we get you ready to fire them back down.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Thank you.
The Ace is 31 here. I've Jacob Torment on the call and on the line. We are getting ready to hit him back to the track and back into the playing field. Chase Shibley, last week's podium finisher with his crew there, and of course, in Kenneth Brown, the 98, taking home victory then. He's looking to do it again here on P-Trace TV, looking to get a good drive off and a good power off in these spaces and these performances. Every driver for themselves, though, as they bring him down the backstretch. We've got about 32 laps left to go here in this one. It'll be 31 coming to the restart. And on the restart zone here in Richmond, we fire him back up, we fire him back down. Green's back out. Entering through the corners and side-by-side drive off. Everybody looking for position, gaining ground. Shipley, this is time for an evasive action. This is the block thrown into 3. What he's doing right now is trying to block the run of Zebu before he gets to a drive on the outside. Problem is, if you block the bottom, you give the outside up, and that outside is right where Zebu wanted to go. Shibley gave him a nudge up there, and now he's forcing the hand pretty well, but it's Shibley who is being tacked and not put on the offensive. Zebu had a drive off on the outside. Looks like he's getting just enough run to force the hand to the issue at the 15. Shibley can't get to the outside wall and can't get the run there. If you can't get the run on that outside grip, then your run is completely dead in the water. He knows it. That's why he's getting so forced into the spot. Unocal number 10 has got the number 10 Silverado moving the chains. We have a new leader. The man we just talked to in that middle field right now, Jacob Torment, falling back a few spots as his teammate Waylon Turner has to deal with Brandon Ward there in the number 6, but he's got to deal with last week's feature winner of the 98, Kenneth Brown, also in that hunt. Karakov seeming to make a great recovery here, and Brown, oh, he gets a little bit of the fenders put together. Karakov right to the bottom, double trouble. Here comes the attack on the bottom lane. Bottom shelf lays the other boys to the heavens above, and Karakov making a great run there off of turn number 2. He powers it off, and Brandon Ward nearly power slides it out of here. He almost lost that truck completely. Manages to hang on to it though. The field marching their way back into contention and back into the drive. No man is safe from the chaos that ensues. Anthony Emmerich now back on the lead lap after having to literally fight for all that he got. Joe Tardive still struggling to get this big KFC Mountain Dew cameled up orange scheme colors to good use and good work. He just can't seem to find the run, can't seem to find the momentum to hang in there. Truck seems just a little bit loose. Skylar Kake, I believe that's how you say your name. I apologize if it's not, but it's saying it's still neck and neck. Oh, you have no idea. It's neck and neck on multiple fronts. Jenks now making it neck side by side off the distance with Emmerich. Both guys in a fever pitch of driving and just pure sportsman-like racing. The Fireball cinnamon drink there of Jenks seems to have let himself up a little bit more to get around Emmerich. Might have had to take a few drinks to get that whiskey moving, and he finally got it going. Ryan Zebo, after that big move he did on the outside, was certainly something to see, but now you got to wonder yourself as well, race fans, did he overuse that right front tire a little too much? Remember what the driver said earlier, they do not want to go too crazy, go too hard out of the gate. They want to try to keep it stable and try to keep it balanced before things get a little bit too tumultuous and a little bit more difficult to work around. They know exactly how tough the case is for these drivers and the case is for these guys. There's a lot on the line. There's a lot going on. Coming back to the burners here now. We're approaching 21 laps left to go in stage number 2. Chase Shibley looking to try to outsmart, outwit Ryan Zebu like he did in stage 1. Zebu is well aware of that, and he is now starting to feel pressure. Look at the lap and the time gain here. You see the lap starting to close down on him. Lap 78, lap 79, he lost a little bit of ground, and he knows that that is the case already. That Shibley is preparing for him here. This is going to be a gain here for Shibley. Yes, it is right there. Look at this. A huge gain. Almost 0.2 of a second. 0.2 on a normal track like a road course would not seem like much to anyone else, but this is not a road course, fans. This is an oval. And on ovals, if you keep it close and you keep it tight, a gain like that means one thing. Either A, you're slowing down, let them catch you, or B, that other driver has got some momentum, and believe me when I say it, they are coming for you. That's when mentally you just start to get into your mind. You just start to get thinking, can I hold this driver off? Can I keep them behind me the whole way through, knowing they are going to bring everything they got to me? And the Unical 10 is starting to feel that pressure. You see the rear end starting to slide up just a little bit more on the outside. He is getting harder on the gas, which is in turn getting the rear tires to flip up a little bit, causing tire wear and heat absorbing through the burning rubber. Oh, speaking of burning some rubber, smoke flies on the track, and I'm not talking about the fog that's laying up on the top side here. Raj Manapudi getting into it a little bit with Anthony Emmerich there, now opening the door up for Joe Tardif to kind of come back into the fight. Tardif making a little bit of a comeback out here, coming for a run out here, trying to make some noise. Speaking of making some noise, in our YouTube channel chat right now, we've got another driver coming on board. Daily Football Roundup saying, let's go number 23. He's riding on that, or he or she is riding on that 23. Anthony Emmerich. Daily Football Roundup, thank you for joining the show. Brandon Ward. See, so now he can have a chance to take full control if he can start getting some run here. But that 88 is still not getting that kind of speed, that kind of position. You can even hear him. Actually, it sounds like he's downshifting. Yeah, he's actually downshifting entering in that turn. And he's actually upshifting back off the exit. You're probably wondering, oh, wait a minute, why is he downshifting and then why is he all of a sudden upshifting? Wouldn't you want to stay in the same gear so you're having to use less of your throttle and less of your motor? Well, for fuel wise, yes, but you got to understand what Brandon Ward's up to right now. He's actually trying to get the RPMs up higher so he can keep momentum and keep the run going. Remember, the higher the RPMs and the more on the ground that those RPMs are going to the track, the more push and the more speed you can pull back from the track itself. But unfortunately for Ward, the tires are not agreeing with that strategy and not giving him very much room for error there. That is for certain. And look out, I don't want to say too much, but look at this. We've got a 4-truck battle for 4th. Waylon Turner in the number 3, the double O Karakov, Kenneth Brown the 98, and the 31 of Jacob Torman. They are all at each other's throats. It's a neck-to-neck battle between the heavy hitters. Brown trying to get up into top form and top position again to continue his dominance in the points race as well as from last week's feature win at Homestead. But he seems to have found his match and found a way to kind of put himself in a tough predicament. Brown now literally going down below. He's looking for he went to the heavens above. Now he has to go to the depths below to find his run, to find his gain. And again, race fans, if you are literally just joining in as well, do not adjust your television screens. Do not adjust your filters on your end. That is not your end, believe me. It is literally the actual track itself that's causing you to see all that little fuzzies and stuff around here and the fog that rolled in. It's not your screen's too dark. We're watching under the sun. It's literally the entire track has got a fog that rolled in and it kind of plaintively made things a little bit more difficult on the stream end, but it is starting to lighten up a little bit as the sun starts to fade out. Coming down right now through turn number 1, almost a 3 wide slow intervene. Tormando backs off, doesn't want nothing to do with that. Patrick Jenks now moving his way back into the field here as well. Oh, and the fireball cinnamon whiskey gets a little bit of a whiskey shot in the right side. Takes a good little nudge there into the wall protection off of turn 3. Entering into 3, thinking that nudge there will certainly not help his airflow around the truck, and you know you need all that speed and power to try to get any kind of extra leverage on these guys and on these drivers, because it's so difficult to work around it from there. Speaking of working around it, here we go with 6 laps remaining before we close out stage number 2. The same predicament from stage 1 is plaguing Zebu. Zebu knows he's in trouble. Shibley is looking for the crossover to the bottom. Here comes a dive bomb down into turn number 3. And now Shibley throwing it right back at Zebu. But Zebu with the outside run hangs into the drive. Can he hang into it in turn number 1 though? His battle earlier might have cost him too much time, and they're going to run into lap traffic. The 39 backs it down. They connect down turn 2. Fenders put together. Robin is racing. Zebu able to escape. Shibley able to get out of that one. Dominic Previtt probably doesn't even realize just the lack of move that unfortunately just cost Zebu. Shibley knows this was certainly not what he wanted to have that happen, and especially not in that predicament. But Zebu is in the wall again on 2. He's torn the tires out. Shibley on the backstretch, entering into turn number 3. We have a new leader once again. Chase Shibley takes the lead. And just like that, is this exactly what he's hoping for in the 3rd stage? Is this what predicament Zebu might find himself in once more? Oh, that might be the other way around. Shibley over drove turn 2. Major move off there. Now lap traffic comes a factor again. Zebu not able to capitalize either though. He gets loose off of turn 4. These guys are literally fighting over thousands of pounds of a truck right now with the chassis that's just wanting to flip around the other way. Kelly Hyatt in the 26 going to get in the way of Zebu just a little bit. The Unical machine going to have to try to find a way around him. Not going to be enough time though, I think. One more lap now and stage 2 comes to an end. And into the distance and into the drive. An absolute remarkable performance. And Zebu, I think, had enough of Hyatt. Sends him to the shadow realm. Sent back to the pack. Will that come back to haunt him? We'll have to see. Off of turn 4, though, Chase Shibley takes stage 1. He'll take stage 2. The rest of the field currently moving their way to the planks and through positions right now as the yellow flag will now charge up above. Whoo! Wow, my goodness, folks. You want to talk about hard racing there? Zebu and Shibley throwing themselves into the hat, into the wall, into the wires, and no driver lifted, no driver gave one over the other. They both put on a great fight and a great battle. And now, you got to wonder yourself, will lap traffic, those that got in the way, be a factor here in this next go? Or will they be maybe a little bit of a thorn in the side? If I am a Zebu right now, I'm a little bit nervous about that 26 Kelly Hyatt. Sending that truck right into him out of turn number 2 there, unfortunately, may be a result of some later on payback. We'll have to see. PCSU Pisutfin, presuming it's Pisutfin 09, saying come on 2-3, presuming the 23 or the 2nd and 3rd spots would have been Zebu and Willis, unless you're talking about Brown there, but I'm presuming you're talking about Emmerich in this case. Well, they'll get him out of pit road now. We'll see who outlasts the other. Damage cleared up on Zebu. And he's actually going to beat out Shibley out of pit road and gets a few spots up for his trouble. Patrick Jenks and Philip Willis actually getting into that hunt as well. Your top 5 now. Zebu, Jenks, Willis, Shibley, Karakov. Which of these 5 drivers is going to walk away with the win and the victory at Richmond? Find out with us when we return. Today's showcase here at Richmond Raceway has been presented in part by our friends down at Speedmaster Boats. The championship-winning remote control model boat design and world record-setting remote control model boats. To get yourself one, simply email them at speedmasterboats@gmail.com. By our friends at Boss Tech. They are the manufacturer and distributor of top quality automotive parts. We carry a full line of parts for your light, medium, and heavy duty diesel engines. Boss Tech, we keep America moving. Indeed, indeed. Welcome back here, race fans, here on the show once again. Here as currently we are getting settled back down after an impressive raw power performance by the drivers here in stage number 2. Many guys finding themselves in some very precarious and unique situations. Now will have to see themselves into the final stage, and this is the stage that matters most. Stage 1, stage 2 give you the points and give you a setup here. But you know what stage 3 is going to do? It allows you to go for the race win, and it allows you to see where exactly everybody was playing down on the track, where everybody was setting themselves up for greatness or for starts in position. But now this is literally where you start to put everything together you've learned from 1 and 2 into one big package. The climactic sequence is now set to go, and these drivers are extremely prepared and ready to settle them off and settle the scores that they have put together with themselves. From stage 1, stage 2 though, Ryan Zebu and Chase Shibley were back and forth with one another. This time the shoe will be on the other foot for Shibley. He'll have to start a little bit further back in the 4th slot compared to his 3rd and 2nd slots he started back in the stage ends. Can he find a way around traffic, and can he find a way around performance end? He's going to have his hands full. They come to the green this time by, settle him down, and we're back on it. Here we go. Entering into the turn number 1 here, Ryan Zebu is going to have company with Philip Willis, already puncturing that back half a little bit off. Trouble there right out of the corner, number 2 for Jacob Torman. And the 31 nearly clips that 3 of his own teammate, Waylon Turner. Moving ahead here, though, you got some company coming up. Brandon Ward already mashing the gas pedal, hitting the loud throttle off. The pedal is being put straight down into the metal here, race fans, and he knows it. Kenneth Brown now, for the first time today, will be able to finally work with his teammate just a little bit. And Chase Shibley in the 15. After having to start way back in that pack and way back in that area of draft, he's now found his way up to the front. But can he get it going, and can he get it settled up? That's going to be his ultimate dilemma. That's going to be his ultimate spot on the track. Robert Van Ness saying go Jenks in the call. Robert, thanks again for tuning in, buddy. Kelly Hyatt, though, trouble the 26. Once again, more trouble here for him. Just can't seem to escape the madness and troublesome areas there, to say the least here. Came off turn number 2 there, and just you can see the damage is already done. The 26 has just not had a very good day as it is. Definitely not what they wanted to see, and definitely not what they wanted to have happen, and he knows it too. Finn09 saying here for the best racer in Ohio, Emmerich 23, get this finished. Thanks for coming on board, and thanks for clearing that up as well. Well, if you're wondering where Emmerich's at right now, he's currently 10 spots up, second hard charger of the day with Josh Previtt, just eking him out by 1 position. The 23 Toyota Tundra driver right now currently trying to stabilize it up to get that full throttle, number 98 of Kenneth Brown. Emmerich has had quite a day, if I'm going to be real with you. The AE Plumbing LLC driver, he literally has been put a lap down. He's been shuffled around. He's been beaten and banging and thrown out of proportion so many times today. And yet somehow he still continues to fight back. I guess there's a reason why some call him the best in Ohio. Just the man has no quit, has no give. That's one thing he always got to give drivers respect for when they are out there performing at their top level, at their top performance yet. The man out of Rochester, New York, though, as the number 39, Dominic Crevitt here currently trying to stabilize his feet up, trying to swivel into the field and get a little bit further into this drive. Jacob Torman, though, kind of gatekeeping the top 10 away from him here. He's very well aware of it. And for the first time today, Ryan Zebu is going to be challenged with someone that's not Chase Shibley, but also that's also burning his tires up quite a bit and driving hard to get around him in the 4 of Philip Willis. Willis knows what he saw earlier, and he knows what Shibley is going to be up to and what his teammate behind him, Kenneth Brown, will also be working around. The question is, will they all culminate in a final drive, in a final position? It could be anybody's guess, and it could be a wild little run down to the end here, and it's already getting pretty wild here. Zebu opened the door up for Willis, and Willis now looking to maybe make a drive off on him. Seemingly nowhere to go though, and nowhere to get out from. Wasn't able to make that pass. He's diving in really quickly. He's going for a big run there, but he just can't seem to sneak it in completely in and out. The drive to survive seems to be there, but he just doesn't seem to have enough momentum to square up on that inside spot and the inside shot. If Zebu makes a mistake though, you know, if Willis is going to go for a big, and it looks like he might do it here. It's going to be a drive bomb. Yes, it is. A little harder in the corner. Zebu forces himself to do as well and struggles to hold it out, but does hang on to the outside line just enough here. Lined up on the back of the pack now. The 15 of Chase Shibley also right in that mix, right into the fold, trying to get up there with Willis and Zebu. But again, he got his run really later in the stages. He's looking for the same thing here. I already can tell his strategy here. He's waiting really patiently, not to overdo himself and not to set himself up for a problem here. Trying to keep his control at a maximum and a very precise container. Well, to be honest with you folks, I'm really not sure how the heck that 31 of Ryan Foreman is still driving, to be honest with you. That thing is tore the heck up. That it's got a broken right front fender, and it's got to have a broken axle out of there or something. As it just keeps attempting to break my camera. Don't break my camera down there, Torment. I just repaired that thing. He's got to put it right up to the wall again. I told him not to break that camera. He's going to break it, I'm telling you. Well, Tardif's nice enough at least put the camera back on the back out there instead of right into the right front, in that right front fender of his. Tardif right now still hanging on, still keeping a good distance ahead of the boys here. The number 3 Verizon Wireless, number Toyota Tundra, Waylon Turner. Hanging on to the track, hanging on to Performance Len here. He's just trying to see if maybe there's anything he's got left at stake here for these guys and left on this position. As the leaders now have been not only jumbled up, but they're also getting really close to just having to fight for all they got here. Watch out from above, from the heavens above to the depths below. Philip Willis sees he's got company, and it happens to be the 15, Mr. Chase Shibley. Welcome to the party, sir. Willis in trouble. Now up on the outside, kind of banked off. Shibley may go for a huge dive bomb on both, but he's stuck in between there. Willis not giving him much room. Doesn't want him to have it there and die by side right off of 4. 26 laps to go. This is exactly what Zebu wants to see, and it's exactly what he needs. He knows if Willis forces Shibley to burn the tires up a little bit more, they may be a little bit of trouble. Oh, he put the fender to him. He didn't want him to pass, and now puts the bumper to him, gives him the nudge. Trying to get the tires to burn off a little bit more, but Willis couldn't get him to budge. The 15 is doing an absolutely tremendous job wheeling the truck, trying to hang on and keep everything on all sets. Oh, wait a minute though. There's a caution out. There is a caution. We've got one on the front stretch spun around. And this is not what Chase Shibley wanted to see. But Waylon Turner has lost control on turn number 4, and once again, the caution must fly. '31 actually got a little bit all over the place there before that situation popped up, and 2 drivers, oh my. Literally wrecked right out of the gate there off turn 4. Looks like it was Joe Tardif in the 1 as well as the 3. Waylon Turner, we did have a camera on both of them there. Let's take a look at it. Tardif slamming to the wall, and Turner, oh my goodness. Ouch, the 1 of Turner there, or excuse me, Tardif, taking the 3 of Turner for a bit of a joyride there, and I don't think that's exactly what Tardif had in mind there. We'll take a look at the onboard camera here on his cockpit view. This will show you guys just a good idea of like how tough it is just to peel this thing off once you slam that wall. Yeah, once he got that wall protection, there was just no going back. He was in trouble. Caution flies out, and now everybody is in pit road. And Ryan Zebu, for the first time today, is going to catch a miracle and a huge break. This is the first time we're going to be able to see him at full speed, at full tank, and full power. With the amount of laps now he has got at stake and the amount of laps he's now got on his fingertips, he knows he is forcing Chase Shibley's hand by a mile here. We have seen quite a few circumstances pop up here today at Richmond. So many crazy interventions and crazy little runoffs here from every driver on the camp and on the field. But without a doubt, this is going to get even further and even crazier as we patrol on. The field is now set to go. Race fans, YouTube and Facebook alike, I want to know which driver do you think will win this one out? You've seen how everyone performs. You've seen the distances came and gone. Which one is going to be the winner today? Could it be a fan favorite and the 23 of Anthony Emmerich making his way from the Dodge, and the Dodge is up to the front? Could it be Matthew Karakov, after having to avoid and get himself through so much, returning the show in a big way? Kenneth Brown, 1 week ago, came away with the victory, would like to repeat. Philip Willis, who was dead on with Shibley and Zebu for a good chunk of that race. Shibley and Zebu made their cases. Zebu better on the short run. The long run belonging to Shibley. Both guys are now equal and set up in this one. We're coming to the line here for possibly the last green flag start. We fire him up. Here we go. Willis now gonna go right up against head-to-head. Oh no, no, no! Willis loses it off turn number 2, and the 4 GoPro has sent it off to the Shadow Realm. And the GoPro has gone to no pro. in just a matter of seconds. And unfortunately, a huge disappointment for Philip Willis there. One more look at the replay. Watch this. He just came off turn 2, and this is just something every driver will do. We've all been through and done it before. He just over throttled it. He couldn't get it to set down. The truck was just too loose from the cold tires. Could not get the heat back into him and get some grip, and it cost him this spot and maybe pretty much everything of this race. Willis's run's over with, I'm telling you. Crushing defeat, to say the least. PSU Finn09 saying we'll take 7, but Emmerich coming to the top. Well, move him to 6 now, because now he is right in that category, and he might have something here. Everything has been flipped on its head, and everybody has been flipped around here, just not even knowing what the heck to expect anymore. Remember, though, what Mr. Brandon Ward said earlier on that 6. I'm just waiting it out, and I'm seeing these guys over-abuse and use these pieces of equipment. They're doing it to themselves, and I know I can get ahead of them. That's exactly what everyone right now has been watching for and has been carefully projecting themselves with. Constantly finding themselves in the right place at the right time, and using it to their fullest advantage and their fullest potential. Well, rolling up to the field right now, some of the guys that have been kind of hanging back low, like Hunter Bailey and Waylon Turner, have now looking to get some drive back into them. Dominic Previtt as well, and his team and camp certainly have a chance at it. Josh Previtt has already moved into the 5th slot in the 35. He's a hard charger award winner so far today. Can he continue and finish that out? That remains to be of his own stature, his own question that only he can answer for us here. But race fans, now the time has come. We are set to get back to it. 13 laps left to go. With one of these guys currently looking for the win. Zebu is right now gotten the best starts out of all the drivers here, and so far now has given himself the golden opportunity to use his speed and use his power for a full stint and full run. Chase Shibley was saving and using up all of his equipment on the last bit, and when he used up a lot of it earlier, he actually saw him get very tight, very loose off the corners. Does he have the same issue and the same dilemma pop up here? Zebu knows this is his to lose if he can just keep Shibley and the rest of the camp behind him. Off back to the green flag restart zone. Can these guys get this one in? Oh, another one off turn 2. Huge wreck. Joe Tardif and the 1 has slammed into the wall protection. And Joe Tardif, another victim of turn number 2 on a restart. Although this one was a little bit more interesting. Watch this. Came out of that spot there, and this is what happened to him. Waylon Turner misses his corner, gets a nudge there to the 1. Everything seems okay though, but Tardif, you can see he was steering that thing around pretty quickly, trying to avoid it, and he couldn't avoid that, unfortunately. Found himself in a bad spot, in a bad place right out of the gate. We'll take it to our chopper cam here and show you guys a little bit of a better look on that restart. Turner right here, you can see missed shifts. Opens the door up, tries to go to the bottom. Tardet's already going for the run. Then Turner just kind of nudges him, saying, "Hey, I'm still here, bud." But unfortunately, you could just see he had the control, he had the momentum, and ended up kind of spinning himself out. There really wasn't much else he could do. He had control of the truck, so. The longer this goes, the worse these restarts could get for these guys, especially those that are in the top spot right now, because the thing is, the longer the stint gets, the longer the anxiety starts to pressure up, the more build up mentally you just feel, and then it's literally at that point, it makes you options. Either A, go for broke and send it, or B, you just have to lay low and hope for the best. Well, option B is not exactly something most people usually do, I'll tell you that, and then usually they go for option C with whatever they can think of then if they don't go for either of them. Field will settle themselves back up, settle themselves down, and again. Absolutely chaotic, absolutely crazy. There's absolutely no way to get around it, folks. I mean, what else is there to expect and what else is there to go with? You just can't escape the calamity and chaos that is a part of motorsports in the background of the racing world we bring to the table. Daily Football Roundup saying shake and bake number 23 finished strong. Still a lot of love for Everett down there as the field has now settled themselves up for this restart. We'll have 7 laps left to go coming to the restart zone. Can Ryan Zebu hold on? He's going to have a lot to work with and a lot to deal with. And Chase Shibley, Matthew Karakoff, and teammate of Shibley, Kenneth Brown on the outside of him. Teammates will definitely work to diverge and move the chains in with the final laps coming up. Top 5 on your screen. Here we go again. You hear the walls being crunched in. You hear the drivers moving quickly, moving fast. Brown and Shibley yet again. They're back at it once more. Working the field in now, working everyone around the crew. They're working the track more than a WWE worker works the fans on a normal night. Oh, Matthew Karakoff though, and even Josh Previtz losing it off of turn number 2. No caution, no caution. They're not going to give up that easily yet. They're still going. 5 to go. Final 5 laps here. Zebu's got a lead. No, caution's out. There's so much trouble down there. Josh Previtt is turned off in 3. He's slowed down too much. The officials calling for the caution before they can get Previtt out of there. Oh my word, race fans. This is getting pretty inducive. This is getting very hard to figure out who will get the advantage and who will get the better of the other. Zebu right now, if I was him, I'd be probably furious with the way this is going. Previtt trying to get back to speed, back up to grips. But you can see right there, there was just nothing he can do. That is a hard deal to deal with, man, and that's not something you usually want to see right on there. Watch Garikoff again. You can see he's riding so hard. Again, there's not much heat in those tires, so trying to drive harder off, it forces the driver to actually get loose off that corner and gets things a little bit more difficult. Previtt trying to get recentered, and you can see he spins out again, slamming into the wall. Tries to back up, get out of the way though, the drivers, and get it squared back up, but then the caution was already flying out, and he knew there was trouble. Well, so listed right now, I could say that Shibley and Brown, the teammates, have now finally gotten back together with each other. And fan favorite, I would guess you would say, Anthony Emmerich is literally now in this top 5 hunt. Jacob Torman still hanging on there, and Hunter Bailey getting much room and opposition to get into this chance here. Garikoff, Dominic Previtt, Patrick Jenks, and Philip Willis round out your top 10. And by the way, Philip Willis earlier on was literally battling for position for the lead, and now he's got a chance of a lifetime here to get up to the front and steal this one. Now here is the deal. We're going to a green-white checker scenario. We got a couple of them we can use. We have had to use them before here with the Misfitz iRacing League, and if they can get this one fielded in, they may be able to finish this one out strongly, but that falls on the drivers. The field is going to get stretchered in, and they're going to have themselves a field day and a half here, race fans. Field is getting ready to prepare for another start and another climactic sequence. This could be their craziest start yet, and they are very much aware of it. If it gets to that point, though, can they let bygones be bygones, or will they push each other to their absolute potential, their absolute limit? That is the big kicker to it all. Here we go, double filed up, ready for the restart. Coming off the back stretch, they will enter into turn number 3. And then finally turn 4 for what perhaps will be possibly the last time today. Entering into the final climactic sequence. They drive them off into turn number 4. Zebu will set the start, set the field. Green is out. Here we go. And Brown not going to waste any time. He's hunting for a Zebu. He's got a great drive off turn number 2. Hangs on. They hang on to the line. If they get to the white flag, they're going to finish this. Zebu trying to hang on. Brown may have got a leg up on him. Here we go. White flag. Yes, that's yellow out. Yellow, no. The yellow flag strikes before they can get to the white flag. Oh, my. Joe Tardif once again, unfortunately, getting a little too out of control here. Well, we'll have one last green-white checkered attempt, but unfortunately, Tardif was not able to clear to the finish there. They had got the caution out right as they were about to get the white, and Trevor Keith, and that 48, I don't know if he had a vendetta on that one or the brakes locked up or what the heck happened, but my word, that 48 took a nosedive in there. That was a huge little hit there. Let's take a look at the onboard camera here. This will give you guys a better idea of what the heck happened here. Cut it close, and I don't think he really was too worried about it. Tardif, unfortunately, getting banished back to the Shadow Realm. Not a lot he can do about that, and that is certainly not what he expected, nor did he want to see. There is one last green-white checker coming up here, folks. Daily roundup, daily football roundup. Well, you got a pretty good bet there, my friend. That's all I'm going to say. You got a very strong bet, so you got one more chance at it, so there's hope for you. I'm not going to say what he's got in the comments section. I'll let you guys read that for yourselves. The top 5 will remain on the screen until we finish this out. Every driver right now has been pushed far beyond their usual limits and far to their absolute extreme points, but Zebu probably has gotten the worst of it, having to literally drive off the starts and full hammer send it off into the corners. Now finds himself in what could best be described as a win or lose scenario. There's no way to get around it. Stage 1, Stage 2, he had gotten outsmarted and outplayed by Shibley. But in Stage 2, he showed signs of life, giving it good runs and giving it a great battle off, trying to secure the position and trying to secure the drive. He now has an ultimate opportunistic chance to redeem himself, but again, with Shibley behind him and Brown on the outside and even Emmerich sneaking back there, you just know he is going to have to literally hold on for dear life if he wants any chance. The drive to survive, shall we say, is about to commence. This is it. Lights will turn off on the pace car. And the field will stack up. This is your final green-white checkered attempt. Somebody is walking away with a race win today, and somebody is going to be banished to the Shadow Realm when this is all said and done. I almost guarantee it. Which one, though, will it be? Can any of these guys keep these trucks in one piece for this final restart? This is a huge, huge turning point shot coming up. Zebu, Brown, Shibley, Emmerich are final 4. With Tormund and Bailey hunting in the top 5 in that third row. We're going to bring them onto the distance into turn 4. Doesn't matter what they do now. They will get one last chance at this. You mess up now, it's game over. Green flag's out. Here we go one more time for the final time today. Zebu drives it extremely quickly to the top side. Brown going right behind him. Now the drive off into the back stretch. Driver's getting into the wall. Turner is wrecking it. Turner, look out! We got one in the air. Jacob Tormund is upside down in the 31. The yellow is out. Zebu is going to win it. And with that, Ryan Zebu will take what could best be described as a long fight for survival and a long fight to the end, and hold on off of corner number 4 to the checkered flags. Ryan Zebu is going to win it. Maybe not the way he wants to, but he'll take the victory and the first win of his season in the SRM Truck Series of Misfitz iRacing League. Wow. Jacob Tormund getting thrown out of the, almost out of the fence here. Completely dished out and thrown out of here, and it was certainly not what he wanted to see and not what he wanted to have happen, but unfortunately can't quite get around the situation, can get around the rest of it. Everyday football, at least, I mean, hey, at least he was only just one spot out. That's all I'm going to tell you there, man. But other than that, that was definitely a few bucks you just lost there, buddy. There he is. Your winner today, the Unical number 10 Chevrolet Silverado driver, Ryan Zebu, wins it at Richmond. Oh, look at this. He's going to go around this track. Small little burnout on each section, I suppose. Why not? And the race results now will pop up on your screen before we talk with the top 5 here. Top 3, excuse me. What a performance by all. Ryan Zebu with a tremendous battle back and forth to hang on. Kenneth Brown will go second. Anthony Emmerich is going to lay down a third drive. Great showing from him. Chase Shibley. Stage 1, 2 points will help out his day a little bit, but certainly got to be a little disappointed that he could not hang on for that win. Hunter Bailey will get 5th. Josh Previtt will take 6th. 7th going to Dominic Previtt. 8th to Patrick Jenks. 9th to Trevor Keith. And 10th to Philip Willis to round out the top 10 in this one. This, my friends, was an absolute shootout, and only the best were going to be able to get around it. So with that set in stone and that set in mind, well, we are set to go, and we are set to finish this one out. Let's take a listen into the top 3 drivers. In the 3rd place spot today, piloting in the 23 Tundra, it is Anthony Emmerich now on the line. And Anthony, congratulations on a 3rd place podium finish today, sir. With the fans rooting you on in the comments section and a lot of folks watching you on, you were giving everything you had and just came up a few spots short of getting that first one today.
Yeah, man, that was a heck of a run. Got involved in that very first caution and went laps down and just fought the rest of the day to get back to where I was, and really fought in those last cautions, but I came out ahead this week.
You came out ahead indeed. You found yourself in a very tumultuous little dilemma, having to kind of go for broke and go for the big end there. I mean, did you really kind of think for one second that if anything you might have a chance to actually kind of drive off and take these guys for a bit of a ride there, you think?
No, there was no way I was getting around that number 10. That number 10 was just too fast all night. I was very grateful to be where we were. I thought I was top 5, top 10, especially after the first deal. So very grateful to wind up 3rd. Yeah. Thankful for all the sponsors that let this happen.
Anybody else you want to thank for this one tonight, man? You certainly had a lot of fans rooting you on today in the YouTube comment side of our show.
Yeah, appreciate all the family and friends coming out and watching me.
For sure there. All right, and Merrick, this is a great performance here. We hope to see many more of them. Congratulations on this 3rd place finish today, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Anthony Emmerich, ladies and gentlemen, the 23 Toyota Tundra driver will take it home in 3rd. Your 2nd place driver will now join us in the call and on the line from the 98 camp. He was the feature winner last time. He'll have to settle for the 2nd spot today. Kenneth Brown now joins us here on the show. And Kenneth, congratulations on a 2nd place finish. And talk about a season full of highs and lows, man. You literally at Daytona in the performance there for the podiums and the top 5 rankings. Last week, you come away with a win at Homestead. And then here at Richmond, almost a win, but just a little short there to Zebu.
Yeah, I wish it would have gone a little bit longer. Me and Chase definitely had long run trucks. It turned out to be just a track position race, and I screwed it up at the start with a missed shift and had to claw it back. But I'll settle for 2nd.
Settle for 2nd. Settle for a good ending point here and a good drive off in the distance. So I'll ask you this here, man. As you come away 2nd and with really a season ahead of you still, do these podiums, these wins here, kind of settle you off here for the next couple races, or is this one kind of just getting you a little bit more amped up for what's laying ahead?
Well, I'm going for the win every week. I'm not too worried about points or anything like that. I just want to win.
Just want to win and go out for it. Well, certainly almost had it today, but nevertheless, Brown, as you come away here 2nd today, does anybody want to thank for this one?
I want to thank Chase for racing us hard right there. Ryan, I want to thank Ryan for not putting the bumper to me at the start. I want to thank Patrick for putting on the race. I want to thank you for broadcasting the race. I want to thank Boss Tech. Everybody that came out tonight, everybody that watched. It was great. It was fun.
Yes, sir, there. All right, Brown. We really appreciate you coming on board here, sir. Congratulations today on the second place finish.
Thank you.
Kenneth Brown, ladies and gentlemen, the 98 will come away second because the man that takes top honors today, he was second in the stage 1 and 2 side, but not stage 3. The final stage belongs to Ryan Zebu, and the winner today in the number 10. And Zebu, my word, my friend, you had to go through probably what I would say is the most grueling mentality you have to deal with, which is these restarts and constantly just having to deal with guys on the outside or going for your inside run. How the heck did you do it, man?
Man, I thought they were out to get me at first, but no. Man, I just had a really good short run car. Shipley had the better long run car. I think if it would have went green right there, the last 45 laps, he would have had me. But luckily, actually, the cautions helped me, and I could save my tires and really fire off there.
Fired off there indeed, and it looked like the way the truck was rotating, the way the rear end's kind of kicking out, it looked like you were still in a good throttle position and still under good control. But how bad did that right front, just kind of make things a little bit more difficult when it came to just trying to not abuse it too much from the restarts?
Well, the restarts weren't bad. Really, I guess the only time I really abused it was when the 4, Philip got behind me, and he was pushing me a little bit there. I was trying to conserve. I guess it was right there, maybe end of stage 2 or middle of stage 2. But yeah, it was tough. Shipley definitely could conserve his tires a little better. I drove mine a little harder, but just happened to work out, man. Caught some cautions and got lucky.
Yeah, get lucky every now and then. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck in this sport, and you show it there with this one. But nevertheless, Ryan definitely did not take luck to stay ahead of the field. It took a lot of drive to survive. And as you come over with that, who do you want to thank for this one?
I want to thank Patrick and everybody putting this deal on, man. We got a good group of guys here and really enjoy the racing, good, clean racing and hard racing. So looking forward to every week.
Absolutely. Well, nevertheless, Zebo, congratulations on this race win, the first of your season, possibly more to come, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner today, Ryan Zebu here at Richmond, will take this one home to close out today's broadcast and race. What a performance by all involved. A huge win for him, and thanks as well from our friends at Speedmaster Boats and the Boss Tech Corporation. Thank you, everybody, for tuning on in as well. You fans out there just continue to get more and more ramped up and fun, to say the least. We certainly hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you guys next time when the green flag flies.